Welcome, I'm Bill Wake. We're working on a program to do some financial planning, helping you look out forward a few years. And we're to the point we're trying to do persistence with SwiftData. We've done a bunch of setup, a bunch of refactoring, and now we're trying to get that working. All right, so about 12 and a half seconds after last time, we ended up with this. We put in model container, which seems to be the thing that starts up SwiftData and makes it available across the app. And we try and build, and we get a weird situation where it says you've got a fatal error, but the list here gives us nothing to go on. So the build failed. All right, well, what I looked at was this and the warning, okay, this thing has no member model container. It occurred to me, like, did we include SwiftData? And the answer was no, we did not. So that's all that took. But I haven't run it. I started to run it and canceled it right away because I realized, like, wait a minute, that's going to change things. You know, it's going to create data and all that stuff, we hope. So I stopped before, so we could do this together. I don't have high hopes it will work, but hopefully it starts without complaint. Okay, so run. And these other errors we'll look at later. They're warnings. Okay, so that's getting ready. Okay. It's trying. I hear my disk spinning or whatever they do when they're electronic. Well, it should either come up or, throw a fatal error. Okay. Failed to find currently active container for possibilities. Okay. So the other consequence of this is like, okay, that makes sense. I mean, it'd be nice if it had worked, but I'm not super surprised. So that's saying we don't have access to a container in possibilities. And I know from reading, oh, shoot, let me back up a little. All right, I made this little chart. So our scorecard so far, before I've just made that fix, we hope to get persistence with little mucking about with databases or object translation into and out of the database. We hope to get database migration for free. If we change our objects, then the database should take care of it. The problem we've seen so far is SwiftData changes our design. It's not horrendous, but it's noticeable, and some of it is pretty significant. Okay, so one is we had to add codable to a bunch of structs and enums. We didn't have to write the code to do the encode decode, but like kind of annoying and not on topic for them as domain objects. We couldn't use inheritance, so we originally had a class structure that had subclasses and tree and or tree shared a common parent and so on. So we switched to a recursive struct. Okay. We folded all those classes into one class with lots of stuff. And, but it turned out that recursive struct, because the plan is going to contain other plans under either and or and tree or tree kind of thing. And so we switched to a recursive class, and that seemed to get us through compiling. Before, it was complaining all over the place about kind of weird errors internal to the macro processing that were very hard to interpret. Okay, and then we have some unknowns. One is design impact on previews. So it's my understanding that previews have to have a little different structure now. They have to include the model container and maybe a context. Tests may have to do the same thing, or at least the ones of the model classes and anything that includes them. And then I don't know if there's performance impact on the tests, but normally, like, you don't want to have to start up a database to run your unit tests. Okay. And then finally, saving and loading, well, that's going to have to happen on the model stuff, the container. And we don't do it there. We just create the object as an object. Okay. So my well, maybe second or third insight is we're working on possibilities, but maybe that's not the easy one to start with because our people is really simple. It's got a person. It's really just an array of person. And those are identifier, name, birth year, and death. And I don't even think anything uses death at this point. Well, okay, some, yeah. Yeah, we just put a question mark basically. Okay, so I think maybe we should work on person and then we can hopefully get that working with that. So I'm going to try and undo a little bit of what we did. And I think that involves plan and possibilities. So they're the two that make model. So let's make this go back to at observable. I don't know why it wants to suggest observable object and not observable. And then possibilities, you got there, okay, is also a model. Okay, so we'll temporarily give up on persistence for them and see if we can figure out how this thing works before we invest in it fully. Observable. Okay. Now, I think this, okay, let's take this out too. Okay, so let's try running. Unfortunately, I haven't seen anything. What I've seen is people doing stuff differently. It really kind of sucks. Okay, but this is good. I mean, this says we're running, and it has the changed classes we did in the codable and all that stuff. I'm not sure how much of that got checked in. Okay, but this should create a diagonal line. All right. And let's run tests. Now, what I've seen is, let's see, I don't know if that's this or somewhere else I saw it. What I saw was something very similar to this. This is what they say to do for previews, but you're creating a model configuration stored in memory only. And you build a container, and then you attach the container onto the view you want to test. I think the unit tests will have to do something very similar. Because once we have that class that depends on possibilities, depending on the model stuff, and it's, you know, eventually the calls to change the thing are going to involve the model container, then, you know, I think we'll have to modify it. Where did I see this? Let me hide for just a second. Okay. I keep so much stuff in this Joplin. Okay, preview. This is that one we just saw. Swift testing async, no. Well, that's the root of my cheat sheet. Oh, I don't think I shared that either. All right, I made up a Swift testing cheat sheet. It's going to need some edits based on what's been published this week, but testing with SwiftData, that's it. Okay, yeah, so this is from Paul Hudson's site, and he's got an observable object. Whoops. Stop. Okay. He sets up the model context. Right, yeah, there we go. Creates something very similar, a model configuration in a container for that object and attaches it. Well, that's the view model. Well, anyway, something like that appears to be what we have to do is make make a model container in our unit tests that we can do this. Like, oh. Now I'm not sure if his unit tests, they seem to be view tests as well. So maybe there's some room for not doing that, but I suspect we're going to have to. Okay. All right, but tests ran. Okay, so let's check this in. We've done enough. I mean, there's a lot of changes here. This is all the codables and possibilities. Right. Okay, and what about plan? Okay. Yeah. Okay, so make struct enums codable to support SwiftData. Switch plan from struct to class for same. Okay. Cut and push. All right. Now, I did have one little idea, and that is I wonder if you can do at data or at model on the extension of a class. And if so, can we pull all those at models into a file that we only include in the production product and let the tests work the way they were? Also, I don't know what happens if you do model and observable, but we need one or the other for well, maybe we don't for our unit tests. That's more for a view tie-in. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we can do that. That would be nice. All right. So I'm thinking maybe people. Well, let's open that. Okay, we'll close to the right. Okay, so well, I'm sorry. Let's fix these if they can be. Let result. Make sure those are harmless changes. Yeah. Okay. All right, people. Close to the right. Okay, so if we're going to make this model, and then Fiume is going to have to include the model container. Unknown attribute model. Oops. And that's all the same. Missing argument for parameter backing data in call. The model requires an initializer. is that going to do it? Missing argument for parameter data. Okay, well, let's see. Oh, I just hit run unit tests, and we're going to see if that theory that they're going to fail is correct. Boom. Okay. All right. I was going to say we're going to get the same error here, but yeah. All right, now let's take this Swift, editing Swift models. Okay, so we create the class market model, pass the model container down, we use it as a bindable, that's all good. Preview, got some work. Okay, now this is what they say we have to do. Private user path. Path is something in there already though, right? No. Private var path. Okay, I'm puzzled because I thought this would have to be in our people class. Okay, we put that in. And then, well, let's see if this does anything. Where did you blow up? That's main people in net. People.create backing data. And we had this. Failed to find. Oh, we found an error they didn't. Or at least it's probably so primitive that it didn't have to. Okay, open content view. Add an import for SwiftData. Then add properties to get the model context. Load our user objects. I don't see why that's a query. All right, well, let's try this on, well, so it was right in the init. Any SwiftData backing people, create backing data. Well, why would that? Well, wait a minute. Who? Can I get some real code? Apparently not. Okay, there's that state people. I don't know. Is this at query? don't think these two belong there then. I don't know what this model context. I think it's when you actually want to edit. Yeah. So when you want to do something to it, you'll use model context. All right, let's see if that helps any. Cannot find people in scope. Underscore people. How would it get initialized the first time here? SwiftData.query. I think this is the wrong thing here. I mean, does this go on the page that uses it? It's a formatting thing. People. All right, I'm gonna read more closely here. Okay, so we got our class with at model on it. We've got our window group with model container for the object we want to load. Make sure that's true. Container for people.self. Okay. Now we create a model container in model context by adding that import in model container. Okay. To edit user objects, we use a bindable structure property. Okay. If you want to use a preview, you got to create a custom configuration in a container and this, that. Okay. By adding a new user when a button is pressed. Now this is another, like they love, the Swift examples love to just put arrays at the top level and not wrap them. And I definitely use an object style where you wrap these collections because the representations change enough. Okay, people view. Well, I didn't import SwiftData, so that's a downside. I don't think that's the issue, but all right. And they said do it in content view, add properties to get access to the model context, load our user objects. Well, create backing data to me sounds like that's the thing that happens the first time you mention something, and it's trying to create that the initial version. Failed to find a currently active container. But I mean, at least in the runtime sense, this container for people is right there. That's just a format thing. But do I need to? Well, let's see if we can find some documentation. I don't know. Golly. I thought that page was like really good, laid out everything, but it's just not enough for me. Okay. Swift data at query. Model director, model movie. Okay, author's view, query. We don't need the sort, but once again, they've got query pulling in an array of stuff. Well, let's see what they say. Fetches with criteria and uses. Okay, turn the class into a model. We did that. Customize the persistence of model attributes. We'll try the default behavior. Configure model storage. Model container 4, and you can list more than one thing. So hopefully later we can do possibilities. Is undo enabled. If you're not using Swift UI, create the container manually. Okay, but we have this container attached to our content view, or actually to our window group, which is allowed. Okay. Save models for later use. Okay, that's the model context on a view. To enable persistence, insert the instance into the context. Fetch models. Now they only do this with arrays that I can have seen. We're not using core data, so I don't know. Model. Okay. Model context, do the stuff. Okay. Element result, where element is a persistent model. Okay. Just the array of model types to persist. Okay, that part seems good. Eric, welcome back. Well, briefly, the Fiume app, the problem we had syntax-wise yesterday was I didn't put import SwiftData at the top here. And so it didn't know what model container was, and the error message was a little inadequate. But what we've done, I put the two models for plan and possibilities back to observable object, and I'm only referencing people container because that's a lot simpler. So we're trying to get that working with SwiftData and trying unsuccessfully so far. It seems like this stuff goes on the view, but how does it? I don't know how it knows what to do. Okay. And the examples I have all have arrays for their queries. And I've got an object that has an array. Solved, but they didn't solve it. I don't know. I didn't follow this link yet. Query updates views. Yeah, he kind of complains about some of the same things we ran into, and then it's like, well, you can go to a lot of trouble and separate them, but it's not great. So I don't know. Query, yeah, another query with an array. And let's go back to the Apple. Query var data. I don't see why array or anything else should make a difference there. People. All right. So, I mean, I think that's saying load the people. But now people view, does that need to take that argument still? Let's find content view. Right. Element is not. So data query, people.element and people. But yeah, that element sounds like it assumes it's an array of some sort. Yeah, I think it is. So you can filter on a view. I don't even know if he has an example here. Well, like here he's sorting. Okay, you could also filter against some criteria and stuff like that, and that's what would determine it. Maybe people as a concept is not the right thing. But my people does something. I mean, that's pass through. That's kind of pass through. Ugh. Yeah, I think this element, not a member type, is telling me it's supposed to be an array. I guess. Let's see if we can go back to the Apple query one. Element is a persistent model. I want to take a single instance from people. Yeah, that's what I would like to do. I suppose, but that seems, I don't know, that seems a little obnoxious. Okay, fetch models using the unspecified criteria and manage models so they remain in sync. Okay, element, and then result. We don't even know what result is. Okay, element with animation. That is like really not helpful, guys. Okay. Element is the persistence model. You would think people would qualify for that. And then I think people is the result. At least element is not. Right. I think element.people is people. People.element. Now I can't just fold it up because person is a struct with almost nothing in them. Element is not a member type of class Fiume.people. Now I think model can only be on classes. Ugh. I suppose I could try making this a class, a model class. Is he gonna like it? Does not conform. Ugh. Why not? Well, we didn't put that on our model before, so let's take that off. Requires an initializer, okay. Well, that seems like a win if we can person.name. Now, anybody who accesses this, people. Yeah, I'm definitely confused. Now, people, okay, this is array of person. At some point, somebody's going to do something. Ugh. Okay, so we're going to have to make an initializer like this. I don't know, sometimes if you do this just right, it generates everything for you. Right, I don't need this. Yeah, that's, well, I mean, it kind of gets there from this. You have this model context, and then somewhere you're using context. Well, I'm not showing it in this one, maybe. But you're going to use model context. Oh, there it is. Model context dot insert. So here you've created it the normal way, and now you throw it into the database. We obviously haven't done that. All right, let's see if we're closing in on something. Date specifier is not codable. Why? Must be an object that conforms to observable. Is this a binding then? They're using bindable. Just to get to one element. And the whole reason for doing this was to wrap this stuff. You know what? I think that was just confused. Init rep value. There's create person view. People is well, we're somehow loading people, and then how do we get it passed? Okay, let's see. Create, yeah, people view. What type is this? He's not a person. That just doesn't seem right. Model context dot insert. Well, this is certainly bringing in plenty of problems without all the complexity of our plans and possibilities. Okay, so this to me loads the people at this time, which here this thing displays them in people view. And you can switch over to the create view. This is just a list. But what do we do with it? People.append. Cannot call mutating on immutable value. Self is immutable. Is that going to do it? Binding. Oh. Is that going to work? Cannot value of type binding of people. At the rate we're going, people is going away. You can store only person object and create people at runtime. Continue using it. I kind of think so. Right now, I don't think anything's going to be using. Well, there may be something left, but in general, the access to this is going away. I don't know if I can comment this out if that messes up anything. No, there's still some things that use it. Okay. Cannot find people in scope. Person. People view needs. Oh, please. I'm not even sure I'd buy that role. Okay. What's down here? Cannot convert array of person to expected argument type binding to person. Can I pass the binding? No. Well, these are all going to be. Expected argument type binding. That's here. But people dot append. What if this is just read only? And this is where the context comes in. Okay, so that was add environment this. Okay. Insert. Okay, I mean that feels like a step towards what it has to be, and to create a new one, and it's just going to put it in the model context, which has all the people in it. And when people want to see that, they're going to fetch the query. All right, so people view, people can convert rare person to binding. I think that one will go away. Yeah. Okay, we're slowly getting there. Cannot convert a value of binding, right? Just people. You're not going to work anyway. Now, why are you all of a sudden? Oh, because person. Ugh. We got structs and enums codable for basically free, but now we have a class person on our age. Oh, man. And we have them because we need their name. Well, we need their birth date more than their name. Let's see what anybody does with this. All right, so I think stream, right, they do person.birth. I don't think anybody's going to access anything other than their birth date, at least now. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to change this to the birth year. Actually, it's the month year. Oh my. Okay, I don't like being in this half compiling, well, compiling but not running kind of state, or this not compiling state. This, okay. I guess I'm going to try changing this forward, kind of like let the compiler tell you where it's falling apart and change those. Okay, person. Oh, we do need that, don't we? That didn't take long. Okay. I guess we're going to give him a name and a month here. person. Well, maybe this is person.name, person.birth. Tuple pattern. So person.birth is just now birth. Same thing. Now, why are you not? I mean, are you a real complaint or not? People, SwiftData query person.element is person to array of person sort by person.name. Okay. That seems okay. Okay. And some tests are going to complain too. Yeah. Bindable person people. Why is that even running? I had errors. Cannot find people in scope. Okay, can't load people. Okay, where's the errors again? Cannot convert binding a person to. That seems spurious. Cannot find people. Well, this is one of those unfortunate things. Environment people. I think he may not need that anymore. Plan list view might. Give it another chance to complain. Need specifier age. Element. Why is this not person? A member of class people. That seems spurious. Cannot find people in scope. Yeah, okay. No, they fix themselves. Okay. All right. Well, we got SwiftData error. Failed to find currently active container. Somebody's got to have seen that error before. Not being initialized by container forced it. So yeah, I mean that's doable, but it should be the same. Oh, SwiftData bug. Yeah, we got that feeling. I had a working model until I did something. Only happens in preview. I don't know. I mean, we can do this kind of thing. Yeah, I think just in the name of making sure we're not hitting anything stupid. Model container equals that for person.self. And then this is model container. Now, I don't know if this is useful anymore or not. Okay, try again. Stores the model in SQL DB. How do you combine them? Basically, it does. I would call it reflection, but it it looks at the uses of the stuff. It looks at the classes you're using, and if it references a related class, it says, "Oh, that's a relationship." Now, there are circumstances where you have to explicitly specify the relationships, but it no, it seems to fetch things. I mean, my understanding is it fetches things when it's supposed to. Now, this error is not so good. Well, this is people. Why are you getting that error there? Oh, I've still got him as a model. It's not complaining about person yet, so yeah. For people. Fun people, people. Environment people. Okay, I'm going to try and take out people. Now there's going to be people further down, things further down that use it. Yeah, I think so. I think content view was creating referencing people. We had marked it as model, and so it says, "Oh, I better have a model container that has that in it." Okay, so I'm removing this here. Is everything else? I really dislike this. Like add environment people dot self private var people age selector. Right, we don't want this. I think we want our query again. Um, at query sort person.name var people of array of person. Yeah, well, I mean, we are getting some stuff for free theoretically, but it hasn't been smooth here. I really thought this was just going to be more simpler based on what we'd already done. Okay, so this is just people. people. And this goes away. Okay. People conform. Okay, that's going away. First, we'll try to build. Okay, so we're saying at point of use, don't pass people around. Just create a query and grab it from the database. And for us, the places we show a view with all the people listed. We show when you do a drop down to select what person by age, we show the list there too. All right, that well. All right, I think if this goes away, then we won't worry about it. Real uses of people that aren't going to be necessary anymore. Yeah, golly. Why? Create person view. Okay. People of person. So he doesn't need that coming. Well, no, wait a minute. Cannot find people in scope. I kind of don't want to deal with all these. They don't get used even. I'm going to be append. Yeah, I really don't want to address preview at this point. Golly. I think this complaint goes away periodically, so we'll skip that one. I don't know, these complaints seem very spurious. Okay, let's build again. Are you done? Okay, I think that built. Hopefully it doesn't die on people at this point. It should just come up. Okay, well that's kind of progress. Let's touch the people array and see what happens. All right, Bob, born in 1990. Oh, okay. And let's add Annette. Born in 89. We'll see if she gets sorted. Okay. Well, that was easy. Alrighty. So, okay, that's some graphic thing. I think it's the keyboard stuff it always complains about. All right. Well, is this winning? I guess that's the trick at this point, the decision. Um, we're we're doing these queries when we need them, so we don't have to pass people all around. I guess that's a progress. Um, all right, I'm gonna start. I'm gonna say we're functioning, but man, we definitely had everything laid out on the floor for a while there, which is not how I like to refactor or make things work. I really like incremental progress. Okay, now the previews I'm not going to touch yet. I'll take the yeah, that can be there. Um well, let's see all these. Okay. I don't know if this really goes here, but we'll let it go. I mean, I do like getting the environment, not having to pass this around the environment. That's a good thing. Anything else up here? This will deal with, well, I think we have. Oh, we should do an age spec thing. Okay, so depend on Annette. Yeah, there she is. Annette. Yeah, let's make it 56. Okay. All right, so that's in there. That's good. So the right things are finding it. That's the two I can remember. This got a tiny bit simpler, although, well, I don't know. I guess that's TBD. And we still end up needing the information, the name and birth date, which is kind of like the whole thing. Right, person view. Yeah, this is why our preview has to have a model context. Okay, so we pulled model context, people, a person. Yeah, we don't even really look at that, do we? How interesting. Are we using it? Name is name. Okay, that's the create person. I don't know why we need people then. Are we referencing it? Create person view. I don't think we need it. We used to because that was going to be the collection that we actually updated, but now we update in the database. Do you need exhaustive initializers for SwiftData? Well, it seemed like we needed some initializers, at least for, let's see, person here. right? It forced us to create this, and I think that's something to do with the macro stuff. That um, it needs an initializer. Okay, let me continue on this. Let's see, we don't have people. Okay. Oh, we did this one. I think we did this one. We modified this, yeah. Yeah, more bending. Okay, so now people view goes out by itself and gets things. All right. People. Preview, 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 and plan list. Oh, that's the preview. Preview. Class. Okay, so this is just sitting around in our previews. I guess that's relatively harmless. Okay. And warnings. Okay. Let's build. Yeah, I think so. So did I take? Oh man, come on. Create person view. Yeah, that's fine. This thing is just. I don't know why even clear all issues sometimes doesn't get rid of stuff. Okay, yeah, we don't reference the births. That's fine. Yeah. All right. Okay. I'm going to commit. So we're in an awkward place. I'm on 15 whatever. I haven't loaded the new one they're releasing now, 15.4. I think I was going to wait a week or two and see how it goes. um, yeah. Because some of the stuff will be done a little better than. All right. So we changed person into a model class, changed uses of people to array of person, and removed references to people. Okay, except we still have them except in previews. Okay, we'll commit. Have you brought in the new one yet? If it just works, maybe I'll do that this weekend. But we can't change too many things at once. All right. Okay, so I think we're to the point. Well, I think our unit tests will not run, the ones that involve person at least. We don't normally test our views, so the query stuff is not going to be an issue, but other stuff will. And eventually we'll get rid of the people. Are you testing? Building. Okay. And yeah, to your question about the content view, did we get rid of that? I think I did, right? Yeah. Okay, so maybe possibilities goes away, but possibilities is not an array, it's an actual object. All right, so my proposal from here is we're going to take one, well, I think we'll adopt what Paul Hudson did of a modifier on preview or on our view or something so we can attach these models automatically ish. 15.4. I don't know why I'm getting so many weird errors. Okay, well these I kind of expect. Okay, we changed date specifier, I didn't change the tests. I think I can do that. That seems reasonable enough. Okay, so age, make person. Well, I'm gonna say dot name. No. I'll just say person dot name. Person dot birth. We're looking for any with age. Yeah, there we go. Person is make certain person. Okay. Person dot name. Now, this thing of at some point, like we have to get from person to its information, and it does reduce dependencies of date specifier, which is helpful. But if person birth. Okay, so can I run this test or will it blow up? Oh, it's a new test. Okay, a stream. Well, let's just person dot name, person dot age, birth. I don't think so. We have UUIDs on them. We don't really use them that much, and that might be a reasonable validation. Yeah, I don't. I think it will know the difference, but we'll try it. Person dot birth. Okay. Now, I've got a test runner here now. Oh, this is XC test case. Now, I can't, these are not going to run, I don't think. Some of them will, and some of them won't. Some won't build. Oh no, it's okay. Okay. Do I? That may be everything. Okay, good. um, all right, let's run this. Hey, persisted. Okay, I guess that's good. We're gonna need deleting pretty soon. Let's make an Annette. Well, I'll make it Bob, who's born in 2015. Maybe it's Little Bob. Okay, yeah. So it knows they're there. It distinguishes them. Um, I don't think it's ideal, but that's something. Okay. Let me add that to the to do. Now this, I think we're getting out of that problem. Okay, so let's tackle one before the break. Date specify. No, we need a view. And plan create person view. Well, let's run preview and watch it blow up. He does, yeah, he references model context. Okay. Well, while that's collapsing, let's look back over here. Right. So our preview needs to do all this, where this, well, that's some view. User, maybe this is a function of container. Well, and whatever they want. Yeah. Well, let's do that. Another one, January 1990. January. We haven't put anything in there that says they need to be unique, so I don't think there's an issue with that. I mean, it's not good from a application perspective. It's confusing. Yeah, we got two. They're just two instances, right? There's nothing, nothing caring that there's two of them or anything. I mean, I think, from domain knowledge, we know it's not really probably right. But the weak point of this age thing, and we may have to come back to it, like if this changes after, once they've set something up, then how's it going to know which person? It just has the name and the age. It doesn't, or birth date. I don't think. Well, I don't know about your family, but mine has some weird family things going on sometimes. But I guess I can imagine a situation where you're trying to say, here's this couple, they got divorced, and um, let's say the wife's income depends on the previous husband, but then they have their own assets together. And so there's a case for three people there. Um, don't know what that does. So you could have a situation that involved three people to compute somebody's pension. You know, if they are widowed or widowed or divorced, you know, the situation is relatively complicated. So, I mean, you could even need four, right? Both spouses could have um, been widowed or something. I don't know. The rules are a little messy. I'd have to look them up because it's fortunately for me, I'm not dead and I haven't divorced my wife. So um, I'm not sure if you can get. I know you can get the previous spouse's money in some circumstance, but I'm not sure if you're married again. Maybe like if you were married more than 10 years and you know whatever, you get the maximum of the two or the three or whatever. But at any rate, three or four people I could see being on the list. Maybe a family if you really had some complicated thing, although I don't think this is the ideal tool for that. Even in vision. But yeah, we'll distinguish that. So have you finished? Hey, it actually created something. Wow. I think when I hit create, it's going to have a cow. Yeah. Okay. And that's kind of what we expect. All right. So we will come back from break and do what we have to do to inject a configuration in a container. I mean, I think we can make something that takes, here's code that returns some view, because that's what a preview does, like a user view. And it takes nothing per se. This preview doesn't take anything. So we'll give it a shot. All right, so see you back in 3 or 4 minutes, and we'll see if we can get these previews done, and then see if we can figure out some way to make incremental progress on our possibilities and plans objects. I'm really, I'm really not getting how, like, we just could not load. Maybe Eric's position of saying like treat it as a singleton in an array would be the way to go to get something there. But anyway, yeah, if there's only one instance of something. All right, see you in 3 or 4. Welcome back. All right, let's get these previews working. Okay, we'll do it manually for the first go, right? We know we need to do catch just to be. Okay, create person view. All right, so because it doesn't need the people anymore, it's okay. But once you try and do something, then it was problematic. Yet another import SwiftData. Okay, and we're gonna have to, before we leave today, we need to put a button in that at least deletes everything in the database. Eventually, I would like to have editing, right? So maybe a little trash can icon on here or something, or even if it's just slide to delete. But that we definitely need to be able to delete things. Otherwise, we're just going to keep accumulating. All right. So what's the problem here? We want person.self. Now I'm curious if this is okay. No. Oh, no brackets needed. Okay. And let's preview this again. So memory only, load that, and that just gives this place somewhere to insert now because it's got a person configured. And I'm going to leave a little note here, delete people no longer used. This is really persons persistence. And that went to the top. Okay. That's where we are now. I mean, we kind of did that. But I would say now we're figure out persons previews. Okay, so that was create person view. Now, who else? Date specifier view. No people. All right, so can we, well, I hate to say I'm generalizing from one, but I've got this coming in. I've got the code coming in. All right, so let's make data preview. It takes a, is that a type? Person.type, okay. Of type. Capital T. And it takes a function that yields some view. Contents of some view, and it yields some view. Okay. Well, let's put this back. It's supposed to do migration, but given how much trouble we had every time we did anything, I'm not going to bet that it's as straightforward as the sales pitch. Declares no pick, but has no return statement. Okay, so I think we just want to take this. Function declares return type, but the return statements in its body do not match the underlying type. And exact matches in call to initializer. Well, let's call this the type. Type's a bit overloaded. For types, any does not. Oh, let's make this contents or view. I don't want to spend all day doing this. I could swear somewhere on Hacking with Swift, I thought he made an extension with preview. Cite that SwiftData preview extension. Well, that's promising. No. Okay, maybe. I'm not. Declares for some view, but return statements do not match underlying types. I don't understand. Contents is a function. We call it. It should yield some view. Well, let's take the do catch out and just let it explode if it doesn't work. Should be avoided. Yeah, thanks. No exact matches. Okay, I'm not gonna fight it. Do I want to try something if? Something LF. I think the chat stream busts it out if it's got dots in it or something, maybe. Oh, maybe. Do I put that on the argument? Oh. Well, we still need this type coming in, right? That's the person.self. I don't know if it'll. No. The type is a t.type, right? Well, that helped with the view side. So maybe the do catch will catch on. Turn on some view. I don't know. I don't want to fight too long on this. Really, it's putting these extra couple lines. Oh, whoops. Dot. Oh, container, right. Oh, that doesn't. Persistence model dot type. Maybe I just have to be that. So maybe this isn't generic in that. Well, these are not going to be matching other than being some view. I forget SwiftLint has a way to disable one line, and maybe I'll use that. model container for t dot self. I don't know. Let's build it. Yeah, I can. Well, I'm declaring it on the view builder on the argument, which kind of makes sense to me because that's the thing that is. It wouldn't hurt to break these lines up. Okay, and then now, if I have any, I should be able to say data preview person.self, and then some code, which is this, which probably can be implicit return. All right, that'll speed us up a touch. I'm not getting much interaction here. Well, that's this spins. Hmm. Well, let me run. Try it that way. I don't see why it would be made non-interactive. Well, it is. I mean, it's wireless, so I assume it's connected. I've been typing, right? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Right. Well, let's pull this out. Now, there's a way to do this. I think I can. I saw some blip. Oh, I drag this over here. No. paste it over here. No. Maybe it's an Xcode 16 thing. I guess I'm going to put in data preview. It's a little weird. Okay, well that's not bad. Okay, I'm gonna close that because we've dealt with it. This one, well, age selector does need a list of persons, but okay, so we're gonna do, whoops, data preview of person.self with some code. And yeah, I'm not sure. It sometimes seems flaky to me. Like sometimes things will interact and sometimes they won't. I wish I knew what was going on. All right, so I think what we have to do. Oh, now this one's more complicated. All right. Well, we got people. Right. This should be array of person to fit what we're doing now because we're getting rid of people. The class. All right. This is person. And we put people in there. Remove return statements to apply the result builder. What? In the body of result builder, view builder. I don't know. Maybe this is a foolish way to go about it. To fight two lines duplication that sometimes has to be different. Golly. I got these two states. Well, and I don't think they care about those so much. Some view could not be inferred. Right, I think this is view builder's a macro again, and it just doesn't like this structure. I'm gonna take it out of here. Because I'm gonna need the model container to insert stuff. Return is this. Now, I don't know if I can do this the way I'm even trying here. I don't think I want to do that. I think I want to do it in the context. And this is really can I find model container in scope? It's just container. Okay. I think the test I'm creating here is kind of painful. I do want to show both things. Container has no member insert. Model container is container. Oh, we need the model context. Does container have that? Main context. Do I let this one go? I wanted to make two containers. I'm not sure if this will work or not. This one should be empty. Preview gets its own storage because of this. So I'm presuming that's going to build its own database. Oh, no. Do I need two configs? Maybe. Let's do that. And this may not even work. Who knows? But what the preview before used to show an age selector when you got some people and an age selector message when you don't. All right, now let's see if this is going anywhere. I don't know if it's worth that much trouble for a preview. I mean, it's like 50 lines of preview, 63 to, 25 lines of preview and 45 lines of class. There's a message. I still got a message. Okay, well, that works. Okay, we got the 3 in there, and then this one just says no people. Okay, well, I'm kind of happy with that. It's a little work, but can be done. That's good to know. Fix previews. All right. And what's left? So we did age selector. We have not done dates. No, date specifier. Oh, we didn't make a view for that. It's not a. There is a date specifier view. Now, what's he going to do when I click age? No. Oh, okay. So, yeah. All right. That one's good. People view. Content view. Oh, he's not blowing up. Okay. Well, let's take this. People view. Okay. Well, I think we can just say container main context dot insert person. Yeah. Still not happy. Okay, so I've inserted those people. I don't need them here anymore. Well, I'm not sure this is quite. Oh, there we go. Okay. All right. Yeah, and I think that's basically the ones that use person. So I think we're kind of okay on that. It's 4:15 though, so this is my time to. I need to add a button here that says clear all data, so you can delete all these people or extra, extra finances or whatever eventually. But I want to reset the database as a short-term step. In longer term, we'll put delete editing operations on things. Okay, so where's content view? Oh no, he has people, but it's not used. Okay. I think we'll have to do something with that. Okay, here's the button people. Well, I'm just going to duplicate this for now. But longer term, we'll work on improving these. Okay, this is clear all people. We'll just restrict it to that. And we don't want to do that. Well, this is where we need our context. Make it red. Good idea. And it really should have a prompt on it too, but well, let's do it on the other one. Okay. Maybe I don't need this spacer. That red's not very red. Okay. Right, so we need, just like people view, we need this environment. And then I think there's a delete all or something, model context. Dot delete. Who's the most specified model? You'd think there'd be a delete instance. Oh, nice. Yeah, good. Not available. Too bad. Bummer. There must be one, right? Something. Exit color. Let's get a little far away here. No. This will do for now. Like I said, I really have one customer at this point, and he can learn. All right, so I think, is our model going to be people person dot self? Oh, thank you. Animal to delete is one particular index. delete monocolon whatever dot self. Okay. I just don't have the model name on there. Is that what it's telling me? And I don't anticipate these living totally long or anything, but just while it's there. Okay, what's that look like? I may have to take the background color off too. We'll see. Now it's got 3 problems. Well, that's not the one I wanted to see. Oh yeah, that's nice. I think this. Why would that get rid of the button? Well, we'll keep it. Swift or Xcode. I don't know. I've had things where I've had messages that even if I reboot Xcode, it still keeps those old messages that correspond to deleted lines of code. What's this stuff? Content view. Where's that coming from? Yeah, who knows? Another green gone. Okay, whatever. Okay. So we added a delete all people button. Okay. And I think, that'll, well, I was hoping to get the possibilities stuff, all the rest done with persistence. So, like my brother thinks, even if I can't delete, I can still at least enter data, and then next week when we get delete, I can delete the ones that are wrong, and that's something, I guess. Oh no, is this really in there? No. Okay, that's the old. All right. Well, I don't know why Xcode is so lost. Here it goes. All right. Yeah, so I think from here, the challenge is plan and put possibilities. Okay. That, we'll need to move these back to being persisted. Man, there's just not much going there, is there? I mean, clearly the big thing is this. And I don't know, maybe that has to go up a level to be, to let the query do its job. Or maybe not. Maybe query can just go right here, but we'll have to, I don't know how you initialize the first one. Maybe if plan is empty, we do that or something on the constructor. So that the first time you come in, you've at least got that. And the other thing is, I mean, this stuff does get used in more previews, and we'll have to work on that. But we slogged through people. I mean, like Mudshark said, it seemed like an awful lot of work for what we got out of that. So I don't know what that. Let's see. I guess this is now design impact on previews is more like must create model container and more. We were lucky our tests so far don't run into that, but they will. Plans is more complicated than people is. We don't know if there's any performance impact. Effective saving and loading. Well, we know that too. Must use model context. Now, maybe I'm, I don't have a better solution, so I only get a certain amount of complaint credits, I guess, for this. But it's more work than I thought it would be. That's for sure. All right. So anyway, thanks for joining this week, Mudshark and Eric, in particular. And I appreciate the comments and feedback on the way, because that helps a lot. We'll pick up next week and try and get plan and possibilities in persistence. Once we have that, we're going to move on to editing. Okay, we did some previews. We'll move on to editing, and I think that's sort of that closes off one chunk of things. We still need to do pools and some other things, but I think it gives you sort of one viewpoint, or one kind of closed concrete thing. If all you deal with is flows, we kind of have something that does it. All right, well, thanks a lot. Catch you again in the future. Take care. Have a good weekend. Bye-bye.